Alrighty, welcome back. We're gonna get at it again. What's going on with this car right here is it's a 35, 36 Ford. The chassis is the 35 Hup, sorry. The chassis does not fit the car. The wheelbase is not the same. It's not the same width. It does not fit the car. So right now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pinch the frame. And what I have done is I found my wheelbase first. I measured from the center of the axle to the center of axle. It tells me on the computer that it's 112 inches. I've got 112 inches marked off. I am not going to drag the frame on beyond the ass end. I don't need it. It's called extra weight. I'm going to hard mount the rear end in it, but I'm going to cut the chassis off. And the reason I have to pinch it is because inside the wheel wells here, where my tire is going to go on, it's narrower. It's narrower than the frame is. I'm thinking that I need around a 46 and a half. This right here is this is where my center of my rear end's going to go right here. It's 4 feet, so I need, well, almost a couple inches. We're at 4 feet. 46 would be nice to give us a little bit of room. And what 46 is for is so that I want to use this inside wheel well metal to go down on the side of that frame or go inside there. You can see how much room we have there. That's fine there, but it gets wider right here. As it comes forward, it gets a little wider. And that wheel well would not fit down in there with that chassis in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the ass end of it off. I'm going to put the ratchet strap on from here to there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it here and cut it there, and on the bottom I'm going to relieve it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring it together, and that'll stretch that open because we're going to stretch it. Alrighty, here we go. Let's do it. Didn't even get an extension cord ready. Baby rolled it up for me though, didn't you, baby? She rolled it up for me. It's a beautiful day here in Nova Scotia, and that's why I like to be outdoors, because it's a beautiful day. Why would I not work outdoors when I can? Winter's coming, and I think a lot of anybody that lives here knows that winter's coming. When you can play outdoors, go for it, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut that off. I've got to talk this through my head some little bit because I don't pinch frames every day. I'm pinching a frame today. Jolene looks amazing today. She woke up with a beautiful smile on her face. It's amazing how a smile on somebody else's face can make the mood of somebody else. How does that happen? Well, I guess it's kind of contagious, isn't it? I'm going to cut that off. And this is the line I've drawn. This is the center of the axle right there. I've marked it 112 inches from the center of the axle up there to the center of the axle back here. 112 inches. I keep saying that because it's really important. So I'm coming back here an inch and a quarter, inch and a half back here and cutting it off because I need this much for the side of the rear end and I need that much for the side of the rear end to keep that center. So that's what I'm doing right at the present moment. Just looking at it, making sure I get everything ready to rock and roll. Alrighty, I have snipped off the frame, and I've snipped it off 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches beyond the 112. Talking to myself, so I keep everything in order here. I might want that. I'll bring that over here maybe. I think I might want a cross member out of it. And I like the one with the holes in it, it's kind of cool. Now, I'm going to change the disc, going to get rid of a couple things. We're going to do a relief cut and see what happens, because I don't know what's going to happen yet, to be honest with you. Trying to figure it out, and I'll show you what I figured out. I played it all over. I can cut it in many places. I can, but I'd like to cut it in the most practical place to make it do what I want it to do. And what I want it to do is I want it to come together an inch and a half. Has nothing to do with it, but I'm going to clean the chassis up as I go. Making a 35 Hup. We'll say we're hitting a fit a 35 Ford. The fun part about this is you get to make everything. You get to make everything. Come on. I want that piece for some reason. Ground. Connected there? Wow, didn't think I was connected. It's getting vicious. But that's what has to be done when you want to get something done. This is what I'm thinking. I think Fina has a customer. That did not move at all. We're sitting on something. Now, I'm going to try to pinch this together. I need another inch and a half, 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is I bring a ratchet strap. I got a ratchet strap there. I'm going to hook it on here, hook it on there, and I'm hoping I can pull it together. But this is what I'm thinking I'm going to have to do. As I'm looking at this, you know, I'm thinking I could have cut it here. That won't match up anymore if I cut that and change that. I don't know if that matters or not, but it will not. I'd like to keep it there if I could. It's in there. It's probably welded in there real good. So what I'm thinking is if I pull that together, if I slice it here, slice it there, and slice it there, I'm hoping that I can pull that in. I'm going to try it. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I thought. I thought about cutting it there, but seems like I should be able to pull it in with that. I'm going to relieve it. Also, I can weld that back up very easily compared to cutting that out. So I was looking at the easiest solution to make it work. Alrighty, let's see if we can pull it together. When I pull it together, I want to hold it together, so I'm going to use this mount. Change of disc. Thank you for the zip cuts, man. Appreciate it very much. I'm using them. Something like this anybody can do. You can do it your way, any way you want it to. Building a car like this for fun, that's what it's about, having fun. No mistakes, just learning. The chassis was too nice to go to that and try to make all that work. It was just, this outweighed it with the engine in it. Somebody said it best. I'm making a play race car to tow behind the Tonka. I like the idea of a Tonka. That's cool. Got the hammer out there. Just trying to get the same wheelbase. Now, if we have done that and we have changed the wheelbase on this, usually the front end is here. Now we're pulling it ahead, and that's what we're doing. Hammer. See my hammer anywhere, baby? Just looking around there, just right there. Sometimes them come out easy, and sometimes they do not. Look at that, would you? Just going to cut the rivets off it real quick to make it pliable. If I do not do that, it's not pliable. I mean that, it's just I can't set it on flat if they're sticking up. Not gonna try to beat that out right this second. Cool. So, let's get a ratchet strap. We are pinching the chassis. I hope it works. Hope it works. Right now, would you? Now. Come on, girl. Help me out now. Now, I'm going to see a measurement here. We're going to get a measurement. I was hoping, this is where the wheel, the center of the axle's going. So that means the wheel's coming, we'll say 7, I think we'll measure that. .14 inches. We might have a little bigger wheel, so we'll go 16 inches. 16 inches. That's right at that point right there. We're at 48. We want at least 46 and a half. So we're coming in 1.5 inches. See if we can do it. See if that's going to split that. I don't know. Doesn't seem want to, does it? Let's check that out. Did it come in at all, sweetheart? Did it come in at all? Not really, a little bit. What am I gonna get to pull that? This bent a little bit, did so. Maybe a little love tap. Huh? Not really. Is my wood okay? Wow, that's a question for today, isn't it? Don't want that to come out. Nope, don't want that to come out. It's holding the ass in the frame up. Yeah. I wonder if I can muster some more out of her. You want to pull it off the wood, do I? Huh? Nope. That one's moving, but that one's not. I want to hit it. That's what I want to do. I want to see what the measurement is too. Right where the thing went on. Not very good, eh? I wonder if I cut those, make it easier. Probably. Cut it all the way, because it looks like it's jamming up, you know what I mean? I'm going to cut it off. That little split as I cut it. I'm going to cut it. Got a lot of pressure on that. A lot of pressure on this. Take that off. It was jamming up on that. I should have known it was shoving it in. I should have known that, shouldn't I? Huh? But as I do it, you figure it out. Ah, man, I got that in there. Whoo! 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 If I got that in there. Whoo! This won't take off on me, right? Jam my, yeah. Wow. Gotta be careful. See it taking off, can't you? I can. And just that thing there so tight, I don't know if I can get any more on it, you know? I'm in a pickle a little bit of a pickle. Little bit of a pickle. Get that off. That is so tight. Hey, there we go. There we go. I guess you got to be cut all the ways, but you got to be cut. And I know exactly what I'm going to do. I've got that loosened up now. I can see that I have to cut it all the way and weld it back together there. I'm going to cut it now. All right. What I'm going to do is, see where I've got that cut, I'm going to take some out of this and jam it together a little bit at a time. And I think that'd be the only way to do it, would it not? I'm I'm going to take an inch out of this side, take an inch out of the other side. Nope. Take this measurement here. Do that again. 47. Nope. I'm going to cut this piece back to the hole, and that's where it's going. So what I'm doing is I'm guessing. I am just guessing. There's a hole right there, hole right there. I'm going to take out to that hole on either side. I've only made a cut, doesn't matter. I'm just taking out to that hole, and I'll cut it off, and then I'll pry it together and see what I have. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I gotta turn the other way again. Do it. Well, better luck this time, betcha. Come on, baby. Have better luck this time. Ah, there we go. Now we're talking. Moving good now. Just didn't want to get cutting in down there, but that's the first place I went. When it come to cutting it, I'm a little bit narrow right now. I've cut too much. Too much. Do. Shouldn't say that. 45 and a half, 46. What did we say we had in there, baby? I'm going to do this real quick. From this thing here, straight down there, so straight off of that one. That's what I'm going to do. Will you hook that on that side for me, right there? Okay. Hooked her on? What's it say? Are you hooked on? Okay. 45 is my mark. Let go. 45 is my mark. There she be right there. That's 45. I'm just wondering, this one's pulled in more than the other, it seems like. That's going to be a hard thing to deal with. You know? Can't have that. Can't have that. It's both going to go the same distance. Aha. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let it out a little bit. And weld this one on, because this one has been shortened, obviously. I just let it out a little bit. I'm going to let that one in tight, and then I'm going to weld this one, and I'm going to pull that one in tight, and we'll have them both tight. And we'll deal from there. We're 40. What's that? 45, yeah. So I'm just going to get a tool and get a... That's what I'm going to do. This is going to be good. Love it. Love it. One side right now is pulling in more than the other side. And what I have to do, I know I cut the same distance out of it, maybe by an eighth or something, by a saw blade, because I know I cut the same line on each one. I cut the center of this hole, cut the center of that hole, I cut right beside that hole, and I cut right beside that hole. So it can't be off that much. It'd be an eighth or a 16th or something, but I'm gonna cut this back a little bit, make it straight. So basically, I've let the chassis tell me, you know, I'm just going to put it back together. I want to put it back together like that, but I want to make it tight, I think. Yeah, so what I want to do, I'll make it tight. So I got a nice tight fit down there. I'll start with that, because that's the start. And then I'll weld it back together up there. I got to get that welder going. And then I know I'm square too when it comes to levelness. Once I get that back in place, that should be back in place. That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't want to make it too complicated. And if I decided to get the tape measure out and go for it, I could complicate it, that's for sure. But what I'm going by is the holes on the chassis. And I'm going by the distance the distance that I cut off. I'm thinking that it's both the same on both sides. You know, I cut each hole the same, cut it, whatever. Now I'm going to pull that across. And if I'm a little bit narrower than that, that's fine. But I need 45. I need the chassis to be 45 right there to fit this sheet metal in on down here. That's what I'm looking for. That wheel well has to fit here. So that's why this chassis had to be pulled in at 45. It was 48. We just measured it. We had 45 because I was on the other side. Let's get the welder going. Trying to explain at the same time, I guess. How about I clean it up first a little bit? Give me a good weld. I can weld this on both sides if I wanted to. Trying to get this thing untangled sometimes is trying. Sometimes, not all the time. Guess that works. Gas is off, I know that, because Jolene turned it off. Didn't you, Jolene? Huh? My baby turned it off. Gas is on, welder's on, helmet off. Alrighty. I guessed on the cut of the center there, and I wasn't afraid of it just because if it's off ½ inch or ¼ inch or whatever, it does not matter. Does not matter. What I'm going to do right now, though, where I got it flush, right in there, I'm going to weld it together. Must have hit the button, did we? What's going on there? Acting like poop. Why is it acting like poop? Huh? Because of the wind. I'm just going to weld her back together there. Get that back together. Let's move this for a second. It's not good at the top yet. Bring it up further. Get it clamped on so she fits. There we go. I'm going to go up a little bit further and then I'm going to have to run the zip cut through it maybe. Ooh. Oh, it's the hole. Put some heat on her. Big hammer. And a zip cut. Yeah. Nope, not gonna do that. It's just bouncing. I'm gonna do that though. That was where the hole was. Guess I'll do that too now. Need to zip cut that, make that fit better. I'm just going to tow this side together now and make this one fit. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit. Gotta get a cord and clean that so I can weld it. Back step for a second. Gotta back step for a second. You can see how that one's not fitting good together there. I'm just gonna put a zip cut in it so I can get a real good fit. There we go. I bring that body hammer out, did I not? Or no? Thought I did. Anyways, just gonna tap that in. And then we'll weld our corner together. Alrighty. Let's bring this one together on this. I'm gonna clean it up before I do that. Tear my shoe off. I'm fast on my feet, but I'm so fast now I'm walking out of my shoes. Whoop whoop! It's a beautiful day here in Nova Scotia, if I haven't told you already. Beautiful day. When you get a chance to work outdoors, man, go for it. I'm going to just take a measuring tape. Doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's narrower than 45. So I can get them wheel wells down there. So we got a 1/2 inch. Ooh, there it is. Look at that. See that? 1/2 inch. We need to get up there. There you go. Wow. Wow. I'm going to slide a zip cut through that so it fits perfect. I don't want that really, but trying to make this fit nice, that's all. Damn it. I'm going to have to get another cord to help myself. What's that, sweetheart? No, I just want my cords out there. I should know better, having all the cords ready. Should know better, but I didn't. We'll put one on there. Hopefully that one stays plugged in. Got one for the grinders now. I'm also going to change it from this side. Need to change the disc. There's so many things to do, you know. Just want to cut something, right? But I got to get a couple cords, got to change the disc, got to pull it together better, you know. It is what it is. Here we go. Here. And put our vice wires on her. That's fitting perfect down there. Going for it. Going for it. Ground on. Going for it. Maybe not perfect, but close. Here we go. Held together there, nice. Open that up just a little bit, get a better weld. Give it a better weld. That's all I'm doing is opening her up just a little bit. Not working that good for some reason. Weld her back shut. I think I'm going to get myself a pair of pliers, and the reason being I just want to straighten that out a little bit. These will work. Just want to straighten this out a little bit here. Weld the corner, and then I'll straighten the rest of it out. Yes. A bit of coat hanger. Got a hole there where I cut through the middle of the hole. I might as well coat hanger it up. Holes mean penetration. Don't they, baby? Holes mean penetration. Beautiful. Alrighty, straighten the one down the bottom. Well, this one shut down here. Quite a gap there, but two different cuts. Mount at both sides. Place I scored it with the grinder. Fix it. I'm gonna add a little more weld on this side. Make it look better. Add, take away, doesn't matter. As long as it looks the best and does the job. Wonderful. Dun, dun, dun. That side. Here. Spot there. The metal will be well heated for the other side. Weld that from both sides I can. Grind that off so it make it look good. I gotta grind that side. I'll get the welder a little closer. Might as well do it right now, hadn't I? May as well do it right now. Get out of that. Weld with my toes. Pair of pliers that I had. Spin this side up. Just trying to make everything fit good again. Half decent anyways. There you go. I cut in the same hole, cut in the same spot there, welded it all back together. I'm saying that I'm close on both sides. I could be off an eighth, could be off 16th. No more than that, I wouldn't say. Does not matter. Come look at the tape measure. What was it? What was the one I screamed out? 45. There we go. So now, when we put this body on this chassis, I'm going to be able to fit that wheel lip, or this wheel well, on the outside of this. Yes, on the outside of this, and that's where it should be. Your body goes on your outside wheel well. That's where it goes. So basically, and I think I've got it squared back up again because I've just matched these back up again. Like, it would not take it out anywhere, so I'm matching them back up. I can't see that. You'd have to twist this, twist that, and twist that, not to get that pretty well back where it was. Now the rear end. That I have. Let go me. It has. Now. Ouch. Jesus, got some sharp stuff on it. Hey, that's sharp. I gotta get out of there. Now, what I'm thinking about doing is the rear end's gonna sit on top of this to get our gasser look, to get it as low as we can. So what's gonna go on is I'm gonna, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull a board out, let this side drop. How much, I got a board on that side? Yes, it does. Let it drop, just slowly if I can. Slowly if I can. Got a 2x4 on this side. I pick that up, push that out. You can if I had. Do you want to? Can you pull that out for me if I pick that up? Get Jolene to pull your 2x4. I pulled a 2x4 out on the other side, and I'm going to pull a 2x4 out on this side. There we go. Somewhere where I'm thinking. Thank you very much, my lovely assistant. Man, she's beautiful. She's my beauty queen, Jolene. All right, let's get. This is not the rear end I'm going to be using. This is a closed drive shaft, but I really have to get an idea. I gotta cut them. Yeah, to get that set up on top of there when that's in the way. I'm not going for that suspension right there. I'm not going to use. We might tie the rear end in with something, but I'm not going to use that suspension there to tie the rear end in. We'll probably tie it into the chassis, but the rear end I want to set on top here, and you can see if that sits on top here, that's basically how it's going to set, basically, because it's not going down anymore. Well, it could go down more if I want to put it down more, set on top, but I'm setting the rear end on top of the chassis. That changes pinion angle and all that stuff. Plus having this in the center, wow, what a help. That went well. That went good. That went awesome. That went really good. So, we're pinching the chassis to make it fit a 35 Ford. This is a 35 Hup. That's what I've done. I'm happy with that. Good. I was wondering how I was going to do that. You can tell on this chassis it's way wider in the front than the Ford is, way wider. Does not matter, we still have our front end in there. Let's take a look at this now. Jolene has a video planted on Facebook, or is going to show a video on Facebook how we done this. Is that right? Not sure yet, but go ahead. Okay, do a show ahead, go show. So this is what we got. We got some more Hornets coming back to want to live here, and they're not allowed. But anyways, I have split the wishbones. Come on this side, sweetheart. That one's harder to pull off. We split the wishbones, and this is the idea that I come up with. Just an idea. I took some perforated metal that I have around here. I've had for years. I cut that there. I bent that. I've got to weld that down the back because we obviously bent that metal. I'm going to weld that down there. I got a piece of square stock. You can see on the other side. I got a piece of square stock shoved in that hole. See where the square stock shoved in there? Can you see it? There's a piece of square stock shoved in there. So what I'll have to do is I'll get in there and I'll weld that shut, so that's nice. I can grind that off, put the strength back in it. And then I'm going to do what Jolene said. I'm going to put a Band-Aid on it. Jim didn't like this angle, nor did I like this angle. So what I did is I made up these little things that I'll be able to shove on there, and I'll be able to weld them on there like a Band-Aid. I'll weld it on there, like that, and that closes that off and sort of makes that look a little nicer with the angle going. I could make them longer, I could make them from there to there if I wanted to, but I don't see the point in it, just trying to make that strong. We've got our nut welded in our hairpins. We're wishbones now, we've split them. Got our nut welded in there and got a bracket on the side of the chassis, just got it stuck there. Don't know exactly where it's going yet. You can see how I can put the nut in there and that will hold my front end in place. Just got it tacked on there. Want to make sure both sides are the same, doing a little measurement and stuff. But right now, I'm basically ready to tie a rear end or get a rear end hooked to the chassis. That's not the rear end, but I'm going to have to get one, hook it to the chassis. And we're going to start running the drive shaft so we can move it. And that's basically the end. And then Jolene will be driving it up and down there. We got to put some brake. Got to do a few things. Yeah, I still got to put a radiator on it, make sure it stays cool. A few other things. But the rear end's going on top. Drive shaft. This might have to be changed because of the pinion angle now. And then that will dictate how the floor is made. And then I'm going to make a floor, and then I'm going to set the body down on top of the floor. And I will show that. I will. Because that's what we do, don't we, baby? Huh? So this is, you know, I learned how to pinch the frame by trying something. Yes, I did. I learned by trying something. It did not work, but it gave me the direction where I had to go once I cut it, once I started at that point and got it going. I could see that it was buckling it. It had to be moved, so that kind of the mistake, not the mistake I had, the initial movement that I made showed me how to pinch the chassis. And yeah, I got it pinched. I'm at 45, exactly where I want it. Very happy about that, 45, right on the money. I was wondering how I was going to do that the whole time I was into this, and that went very well. So now we've got the front end pretty well stuck in there where it's going to be. I don't know the height. I guess it is where it is. That's the height I have it. I probably would have got a little more height with the cross member up here, but I also would have had more weight without putting the shackles and all the springs and the shocks and all that stuff in the back. I'm hoping that it will eliminate a lot of weight. You know, we have quite a big body, so using the bare necessities is what we're going to use on this. I'm still hoping to drill a bunch of holes in it. Not sure if I want to make it I'm not sure if I want to channel it, or if I want to high boy it, or whatever I want to do. High boys on top of the chassis with none of the body showing below the chassis. Channeling it is showing the body and not being able to see the chassis. So I've channeled down over. Not sure where I'm going with it yet, but we're moving straight ahead. Let's give away a hat or shirt. Let's do it. Whoop, whoop. Pinched it. Where's the computer? Take it up front. All right. Here we go, people. I want to thank everybody for watching and commenting. Please and thank you. Jolene just put a thing up on the Facebook page. She said, well, if you had this Cadillac, would you drive it? And Buddy said, right off the mountain. First thing come to my mind, I hope you kick your wife and kids out. Ah, too funny. Made me laugh first thing this morning, you did. We're just hoping you kicked your wife and kids out. Having fun doing the race car, though. It really is. I'm having fun. And the reason I'm calling it a race car, because we're going down there to race a bunch of flatheads. Not to win, but to have fun. And basically, I'm building the car the way I want to build it, because I want it to look cool on the back of our Tonka. That's the end of it. I'm building it to look cool, but also keeping in mind that I want it light as possible. 526 comments. Thank you very much, man. We can't expect no more than that. Jonathan Robertson. Great to see Jim. Listen, it was great to see Jim. Yes, it was. We had a good little talk yesterday. He showed up unannounced, but we like it that way because Jim is just as real as it gets. And I think Jim's doing okay right now. His Ferrari's working good. He had a couple comments on the front end as I was doing it. It changed my thought process on the hairpins. Instead of cutting them and trying to make the 2 cuts, we made a little band-aid for it, Jolene said. We put a little cap on it, which made it look a little better for the visual of it. And Jim is one of my good friends, and I'm glad that you enjoy him because I do too. And we'll see you tomorrow. Me and my lovely Jolene are going to spend the rest of the day together in holy matrimony till death do us part.